Morning, Raptor Freak. Lexiot's here. How you doing this morning, Raptor Freaks out there? Yeah, Sunday report, and the subject I thought about yesterday. I was thinking about what's so different about the NBA today is the interconnectivity between the team, the players, and the fans, and stuff like that. That there is a mode of communication between everybody that is on a new level, and that in some ways this really helps the team do things in certain ways, whether it's as a team whole, the Raptors, or as an individual player with things and stuff like that. For example, on the individual player level, this past week on Twitch, Scotty Barnes ignited a controversy by being outspoken about a LeBron fan in a clip from the Seattle Pro Am, and he got a lot of backlash. There was a little bit of confusion about what he said and stuff. So Laker Nation came after him because they thought he was hating on LeBron. Well, this is a negative side effect, but it's also the kind of thing that can teach a young player's lesson early without having to learn something too harsh. Scotty's sensitive and aware enough to understand that this may not be a direction he wants to go online ever again. And since then, he's adjusted and talked about how him and his friends, when they're on Twitch and they're playing video games or doing whatever they're on there, they have to be more positive. They have to be more speaking generally nice about people and things and places. Like the waist shoot from Brampton thing was another one that, he got a backlash from the city of Brampton for calling somebody a waist shoot from Brampton. Even though a lot of people found it funny, it was still kind of derogatory towards the city of Brampton. So it's that kind of stuff that a young rookie, well, not a rookie anymore, and he doesn't want us to call him a rookie this season, a second-year vet like Scotty Barnes had to learn early in his NBA career and stuff like that. And if he does it within, Twitch with friends and people in the stream that look out for him and stuff like that, that may lessen the blow in some ways. But the whole dynamic between Scotty and the Twitch followers in the stream is a very much a two-way street. There is a lot of stuff that he tells us and teaches us, and like he's always telling us to go outside and get fresh air. He's always telling us to share the love and be more positive and just be great. He said that himself this week. He said, "You guys are my Twitch followers. You're special to me. You reflect on me. You represent me, and I want you guys to be good people. You have to be better people than other people because you're my people," is basically what Scotty was saying and stuff like that. So he's influencing us. I hate Richard Jefferson less because of Scotty. I respect Chet Holmgren more because of Scotty. These are effects that are happening to the fans. Obviously, a guy like him will have an effect on the fans through the social media and shaping their lives. And maybe there is somebody that got outside and touched grass because Scotty said, go outside and touch grass. So there's an influence that comes from both directions. And we have an influence on him also. Like we can say things and stuff like this week, he asked us what music he should be listening to like what new stuff is good out there. And he was getting everybody to list artists. And we have the ability to present a name, an artist to him, and he may go listen to it and he may get into it and stuff. That is what I'm saying. There's two channels of influence, just like on this stream where we have, I'm talking with my voice and you guys are chatting and I'll read what you guys are saying. Sue's saying, good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday from Tom Duke. Good morning from Monique. G's here also. He's saying morning. DJ was looking better in the runs, talking about DJ Miller. Or DJ Wilson, sorry. Sue saying, hi, Tom. Hi, Mo. Hi, G. Hi, Sue. Everybody's saying hi. And Monique had a couple comments earlier talking about Open Gym and when it originated. It was initiated under Brian Colangelo, but really the first episode happened when Masai showed up. It's really interesting. They had it in development. Maybe they had it in little short clips, but the very first episode I can find is the one with Masai and stuff like that. Now, the whole Open Gym thing is a whole other phenomena of interconnectivity between the fans and the team that has really just been really beneficial for the team. I've talked about this a little bit in the last couple of weeks, that Open Gym has been on the down low, a huge weapon and thing for the Raptors that has been really badass. In fact, we're seeing some teams already this season trying to mimic an open gym kind of TV documentary kind of show. Like I've seen a little bit of Lakers clips like this because there's a demand in the United States right now for a hard knocks kind of style for an NBA team. That the NFL has a show that people really enjoy that's behind the scenes that shows the players in the office and the coaches going through what they do behind the scenes. And they didn't know that we've been doing this for 10 years up in Canada with Open Gym. But it's great because it is really the same kind of treatment. And we've seen so much about our team. In fact, there's something about this that I want to say is like we've started this journey on Open Gym when Masai showed up, and we were still, nothing had been proven. We didn't have any respect. We had a lot of different things, and we built it all up while this show was in production. And it makes me wonder, does this show like allow us to have a mirror to look at our team from the outside? Like people that appear on Open Gym, like Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan over the years, Terrence Ross, did they look at themselves on the show and like figure things out a little bit more or something like that? Now, the show obviously is a great recruiting tool to get more people in Raptors fan nation that you can watch Open Gym and it can be inspiring like a movie and get the plot across to you. And you're like, these guys are heroes. They go through stuff, they have different things that happen to them, and we learn more about them. It's like propaganda. Open Gym is like Raptors propaganda. I mean, it's not untrue. It's not like I'm not saying propaganda, but I mean, it is something that gets the favor of people to like the Raptors more. And I think that that's really been powerful and good for the team. That, we have this show that can show people the insides and they can see the people that are working on the team and they can be like, I can trust this team because I just saw Masai Ujiri in his office talking about how he wants to make this team win another Larry O'Brien. And you just see all the inner workings. You hear the players talk really candidly, goofing around behind the scenes stuff. It's an amazing tool to recruit more fans for Raptor Nation. It's a great thing for us to look at from the outside in and reflect, go back and look at old episodes and see different times where the franchise was at that point in time, whether they were still butting into LeBron in the playoffs in the Eastern Conference, whether they were getting to the next level, whether it was like getting all-stars for Lowry and DeRozan, whatever the accolades were over the last 10 years, they've mostly been documented on the Open Gym series. And that's another really beautiful, fantastic thing about it. It's documented, that it is like a video diary. It's like you could watch Open Gym from the very beginning of the series and you'd really kind of know the history of what happened to the Raptors in the last 10 years, how they built themselves to becoming a champion in 2019, and just all the different little things that we've done to make our culture and our franchise so strong, healthy, and just really going in the right direction. That if teams really want to know how to do it, they should be watching Open Gym and stuff like that. And I just love, as a Raptor fan, a diehard Raptor fan, that I have an old series that I can go back and just look and watch an episode just for fun to remember a little slice of time in the Raptors history. It really is like a diary or a video journal or just some sort of documentation of the history of the Raptors. And over the years and the decades from now, it's going to be so cool and invaluable for fans of the Raptors in the years and time way past us, that they'll be able to go back and look and see Open Gym and watch what happened in the Raptors then, stuff like that. It's really, really cool stuff. I love that about that whole series. And I appreciate everybody who's been involved in making it and all the hard work they put into it and the quality of the great show that it is. So that's what I'm saying. This is another realm where social media and YouTube and clips like this, TV shows like this, can really help the team. And I do really honestly believe there has been an Open Gym effect on the Toronto Raptors franchise, and it's been positive. It's been a very, very good positive thing. If not getting fans from the US or other places, more Canadians got interested in the Raptors because the Open Gym show may have been on Raptors TV or on one of the sports channels up here just for a half hour, and they're like, oh, what is this? Oh, wow, this is like the Raptors, and they're behind the scenes. They're showing them their life and stuff like that. Wow, and then boom, all of a sudden, somebody who's a casual NBA fan gets involved because they see this show and they're like, wow, I really respect Kyle Lowry because I just saw this Open Gym episode and I want to learn more about them. It really is that kind of thing. And I really think it's so brilliant that it makes sense that we have it because we have a whole country to provide entertainment for. Like there would be a market in every city across Canada. It's like some of the teams in the US, they don't have a big enough market for it. Like, even the Lakers, sure, they could probably do this show for the Lakers and it'd be across the country, but they have the Clippers in their own city with them and stuff like that. So it's like we really kind of have the best kind of setup with our huge market being a whole country and just being like, this is on nationwide Raptors Open Gym and stuff like that. It's been really good for the team. Another area of interconnectivity on social media between players and the fans is Twitter. Now, Twitter is very interesting because it is basically you write down your thoughts and you say something, you make a statement. And some of these players are very active on Twitter and they will interact with fans, notably Kevin Durant. In fact, this whole summer with Kevin and his trade demands has been very interesting because there's been a lot of like bickering on Twitter with Kevin and different random strangers and people. There's a lot of people telling Kevin that he's ruining his legacy, that he's making himself look bad by the way he's acting, by demanding a trade and doing all this kind of stuff. And they may be right, some of the fans that have written that to him. Well, in this day and age, you're derogatory towards a player like Kevin Durant. Well, he may just answer you. He may just answer you and tell you why you're wrong or get down on you for whatever you said and stuff like that. This is hilarious. This is crazy. And this is fun for the fans, but it's not necessarily good for some of the players. In fact, if I was a player in the NBA, I would not be tweeting directly with people. I would not be doing that kind of stuff. And it's kind of interesting. It kind of tells you about the personalities of the different players, which social media they enjoy using. Like Scotty's on Twitch. That is his bag. Kevin's on Twitter. That's his thing. Some guys are real big on IG and they're mostly on that. It really kind of has to do with what the player is like in some ways. Like Scotty likes to play video games. Kevin likes to talk to people directly. And then some people like to just show off really nice pictures and things like that. So the different social medias, what the players use kind of tells a little bit to their character and stuff like that. But if I was Kevin Durant, listen, I would not be doing this. Jordan would never, ever be tweeting back and forth with people while he was playing in the league. In fact, there's been some speculation what the NBA at that time would be like with today's current social media age. Like, what would happen with Michael Jordan? Like, there's a lot of different areas of the world, things that would be totally different with social media, the way they were back in the day. Like, one thing is wrestling in the 80s. Wrestling was kind of ruined by the internet because the internet made everybody smart to its secrets. And this is the crazy thing. Wrestlers in the 80s were absolutely wild and crazy, like sex, drugs, and rock and roll, going to the hotel bar after all the matches and being crazy and doing crazy stuff. That stuff that just needed to be forgotten, not get documented on anything like Instagram or have anybody on Twitter saying, hey, I saw you at the bar, Ric Flair, last night. And we had so much fun putting people on blast and stuff like that. There's so much stuff that if it had been put out there on social media in that age, people would have been canceled left and right. People would not be having jobs because that openness on social media of everybody's business would ruin people's careers and stuff like that. Because there were people doing crazy shit that they could get away with because it was a different time and not everything was put on blast like it is now. Like we saw James Harden on his birthday throw a cake off a boat. We saw a little baby give him $250,000 in cash in a bag. We would have never saw that in an age other than now. So that's what I'm saying. There's good and negatives to it. There's things that are fun about being interconnected and interacting and seeing more like the open gym kind of way. And there's also negative pitfalls and ways you can step in it. Like what Kevin's been doing recently is, like I said, he puts himself at a lower level when he stoops to interacting with fans on Twitter the way he does. That's what I'm just saying. It doesn't look good. And if you saw the picture of Kevin at James Harden's birthday party on Friday night, he doesn't look like he's a happy person. His face, he just looks like he's like, everything sucks. So I'm going to tell you right now, this Brooklyn thing is not like he's not happy to be what's happening and stuff like that. Going back to the Nets and still playing for them this season is not anything near what he wanted to do, but he realizes he's hamstrung and that he has to do it. And that he's kind of just like, yeah, all right, I guess I'll come back and run it back with you guys because nothing's happening and stuff like that. But yeah, you can tell Kevin's miserable and partly because of his Twitter. And that's what I'm saying. It's a portal. It's an open to the person's mind and how they are and stuff like that. And Kevin's character and how he is on Twitter has hurt him in a way. I mean, it's some people love it because he's like, yeah, he's out there, he's involved, he's with the people. But also, some people are like, yeah, this kind of shows that you're immature, maybe a little too like petty, stuff like that. So that's the thing. It all interacts. It's just a totally different world we live in now, social media world. And I mean, like I said before, I wouldn't have ever thought I would be able to be in a direct communication with one of the Raptors the way I am, like I am right now with Scotty on Twitch. That kind of access and the ability to talk to him and say stuff to him like pass the ball to Kem more so Kem can make more shots. I can actually suggest that to him and he might see it and it may get in his head and he may actually look for Kem more just because I said something like that in the stream or something like that. That's the thing I'm saying is we can expand a young person's mind like Scotty Barnes, 21 years old, and help him learn and mold him. In fact, we may be even part of the support system for Scotty in some ways. The Twitch regulars, the people that are in there every day. He said it on Friday. He said, "You guys are my family and y'all really matter to me. The ones that are always here, you guys really do matter to me." And I'm like, whoa, this is cool. This is crazy. And he even mentioned me by name when he was talking about that. So that's what I'm saying. We can have an access to these guys in a way that's totally different than ever. And, as fans that really care about the team and the Raptors, we want to use that power for good. And we want to use that power to help them not step into it like last week with the Scotty Barnes thing with the LeBron fan and stuff like that. That he got some backlash and he got some hate. He got some social media hate from people. In fact, that people were saying some really ugly things about Scotty this past week, and it may have hurt his feelings. There may have been some stuff that was said that was kind of like, that's really low and messed up. But he's understanding the whole picture of it is that like I can have this nice relationship with people on Twitch, people that I love and trust, people that I talk to on there, but there's going to be knuckleheads. There's going to be people that are going to be assholes and ugly and say bad things and stuff like that. So he has to be ready for the whole thing and stuff like that. But yeah, I just wanted to come on today and talk about the social media age and how a lot of this stuff can be really beneficial. Because another thing I think is, all right, let's take my channel for one thing, YouTube. We'll take YouTube creators in general, people like me, Jumpstown Clink, Greg, Raptors Digest, Luca Rosano, Raptors Republic, all these different creators on YouTube. We actually have some sort of power in some ways also because we are maybe getting heard at times and stuff like that. Like we do the Thursday think tank here on Thursday, and we all the commenters and me, we talk about all kinds of comments and we get a lot of things out there. And there could be officials from the Raptors organization that come in and test the water of what the fans are saying. that there could be people, somebody in the Raptors organization that's watching most of the Raptors content out there, and they're getting little ideas. They could be getting little kind of germs of little things like, whoa, this fan on this site just said, maybe we should try this, and it's a little bit outside the box, and maybe something that nobody in the organization thought. And like, we're a part of the extended hive mind of the Raptors organization in like coming up with ideas and coming up with innovations and coming up with different things. Like, they're a smart organization. They're not so proud and like, oh, we just know everything, shut it all out. Sure, they want to go out and find information. They want to research. They want to scout new players. That is the kind of organization that our team is. And that, if they're on top of it worldwide, looking at players scouting wise, why wouldn't they scout ideas, feelings, the way the game is evolving, the way it's changing, and wanting to be on that forefront, the cutting edge of the NBA, and being the team that is making like new kind of ideas happen for real on the court, getting out of that like mindset of saying, oh, we don't do this in the NBA, getting outside the box and and getting out there and really trying and experimenting with new stuff like Vision 6-9, positionless basketball, and different things like that. That's what I'm saying. That in the way creators like me, fans like everybody, that they express their opinions online on different places, and then somebody's listening in the organization, boom. That is more information, more intelligence, more everything for the team, and that is actually something they can access and stuff like that. That is another way. All right, let me see what you guys are saying. I just found a whole section of these things. Tom saying agree. G, DJ, and Doughton. Yeah, you guys are talking about the latest Rico Hines that have come out. Really, really good stuff. This is like around Monday, Tuesday, 2 weeks ago. And the next clips are going to come out with Steph in them. Steph Curry's going to be in the next clips that come out in the next day or so. And then we'll probably finally see the second episode of the Scotty Barnes YouTube show. That they're waiting for the Steph Curry, Rico Hines clips to drop from Rico Hines first before Scotty can drop his second episode of his show, because it has clips from that too. Now, if I was Max, I've said this before, I would have done the first week that Scotty was at Rico Hines separate, then done Fresno and Powder League, and then done the second week of Rico Hines when Steph was there in another episode. But he wanted to put all the Rico Hines together for some reason. I don't know. I thought that was dumb. You should have had more episodes and made it Rico Hines part 1 and Rico Hines part 2, Max. What are you doing, man? So I really expect, if once that Rico Hines Steph Curry clip comes out in the next day or so, then we'll see the Scotty Barnes clip come out right after it, the second episode of him. And that's what I'm saying. These guys have their own YouTube channels. They have a place to express themselves with content. They can hire really good filmer people that can produce really high quality stuff, like Fly Guy Films for Fred VanVleet and the crew that follows Pascal around. And Scotty wants the same kind of thing, and have a YouTube channel that kind of makes their brand, sets up a brand, sets up something like Bet on Yourself, and then, that is a whole part of the mystique. It's kind of like what they built for Jordan with Nike. You had to have like these multi-million-dollar like commercial campaigns to build up the legend of Michael Air Jordan. Well, Fred VanVleet's building his own legend in his own company by having his own kind of stuff put on up there. And it's the same kind of quality of amazing things like the old Nike Jordan stuff back in the day. Now players can just do that with their own people and have that kind of put out for their brand and who they are, and putting the stuff like that out there. That is a very amazing and powerful thing right there, that they can shape their image and put out different content to really kind of put their character and who they are out there in the world today and stuff like that. I love that. Good morning, Carl Otts. I finally read that. Good morning to Carl Otts. I hope you're having a good morning. Let's see. G saying, yes, Tom, Doughton is always consistent. He really does look consistent. And the thing that we really like from the clip that just came out is his offensive rebounding. Have you guys seen how much he gets up on the glass and gets putbacks? He had a lot of dunks in the last clip, and almost every outside shot he took, he nailed real nice. Him and Gabe Brown are still really steady on the outside shots and stuff like that. And yeah, really, really cool to see Jeff Doughton playing with the main guys. Like he's been really playing more with Ron Harper in the secondary team most of the time. But this last clip, he was running with Pascal and Precious and Delano and stuff like that. And that's good that he's been more with the main guys and he looks great with them. I really like his ups. Like he can dunk really easily. And that's another reason why I don't think he's actually like 6'3". I think he's actually like 6'5". And because he gets up there and dunks real easy and stuff like that. All right, let's see. Sue's saying we are so lucky to have open gym. It is amazing. We really are. And of course, a city like Toronto, with so much being filmed here, so many very knowledgeable cinematographers and people and stuff like that do film work, we're going to have like the highest quality of like production, the highest quality of sound. This is basically like movie level production as far as the sound, the timing, the editing, the shots, the cinematography, the film quality. All of it is just done at the top level. And that's why it's really even more special. It's not cheap and it looks really, really good and stuff like that. Yeah. Tom Duke's saying still have absolutely no idea who are they going to cut for sure. Good thing no one seems to get injured at Rico runs. Yeah, good thing indeed. In fact, there was one clip in the new one where Precious spills out and falls into the chairs underneath the basket where all the people are sitting. And yeah, it looked a little scary for a second just because of the way he landed and then him going into chairs and stuff like that. Ooh, it looked a little bit like that could have hurt. Precious did not have a good week at Rico Hines. I'm going to say this right now. The first clip I saw of him there looked okay. There was some nice lobs to Coloco. There was some different stuff. We saw him hit a cute few shots. But in this latest clip, he misses everything. And he looks winded. And he did not look like he was getting up and down the court like the rest of them were very well and stuff like that. So Precious, I'm hoping that I know that you've worked out and you've done a lot of good stuff this summer. You did your camp in Africa and you've been doing camps in Canada and stuff like that. But man, you might need to kick it in a higher gear for the last month of the off season, just so you're ready at the right pace, because I think you're not working out hard enough in some ways is what it looks like. And I bet Rico and them probably talk to you on the private level about that. Just from watching the Rico Hines clips, the most recent ones, Precious did not look good. And it's not even like the fact that he has bad hands sometimes near the basket and he fumbles the ball or stuff like that. That's the stuff that from last year. And that's normal. Forget about that. It's really that he's missing open shots that he should have made and that he looked like he was laboring getting up and down the court. So, Precious. Let's do this. You may need to get with Scotty a bit before the season and really work hard with him and Pascal and these other guys and really, really do it. I don't know. I'm sure you'll be fine. You're going to do it. But this may have been a kick in the butt for him to see, oh, crap, I need to kick it into another level, another gear, because it didn't look right exactly. Nako the Nacho, it's good to see you here. Hard pressed to think of an NBA player at least still in the league with a more enigmatic personality than Scotty Barnes. Enigmatic. I'm trying to say that right. Yeah, there have been players that are like this, that they have a very inviting personality, very like, congenial kind of aura to them, that they draw people to them. They're magnetic personalities. Magic Johnson is obviously a really big part of that. They used to talk about Magic's always smiling. Well, he's always smiling. And they would always get mad at him. Some people were like, hey, why are you always smiling? He's like, well, I'm a happy guy. Let me be a happy dude. And that's the thing that you can have an attitude. You can be sour like Kevin Durant, but you can also be like a very positive, happy, smiley person and still be a really good NBA player. Magic was just like that. And I think that Scotty is a bit like that, but he does have that cutthroat edge to him also to want to win, and that he doesn't smile around the court when he's playing very much unless some fun stuff's happening with his teammates and they're winning and stuff like that. But if it's serious and they're in the trenches, he's all business and very much so like that. But I think you're right. I don't know about other teams and stuff like that, but from my perspective, Scotty seems like he's the most attractive kind of young star in the league. That he's got a certain skill set on the court with dunks and different things he can do that he's going to wow everybody who loves basketball. But he's also got a certain kind of charm and aura to him that's very childlike in some ways, that may be like attractive to young people to look up to and emulate and be more like him also. So I think that you're right in a lot of ways, Nako, but our perspective is tainted as Raptor fans. There may be players on other teams that are young that people in that fan nation look the same way at their young guy, like Cade Cunningham, stuff like that. So, but I really think you're right that in some ways he is the one that has the most appeal. In some ways, Scotty Barnes. Monique saying spot on, Lex, with Open Gym. Thanks, Monique. Yeah, it's just been such a blessing, and I just love that our team has Open Gym. That Open Gym has just been such a fantastic thing about our franchise, and that we're lucky we have it. And we're really lucky we had it for the 10 years that we've had it, because it really shows the hard climb to success. It shows each step, the places where we failed, and then finally start breaking through and succeeding and stuff like that. And that makes it even more fun. Like, I'd like to watch a crazy edit of all the shows that maybe you cut down all the, like maybe Open Gym will hear me, and you cut down all your episodes to make it coherent into like a 2-hour movie. And you really, really show all the timeline of the Raptors' journey towards the 2019 championship. And you show like all the dismay early on with things like with DeMar and Kyle and stuff. And then you get to each part and you see how it changed over the years. They just keep putting the date, and then they show the next part, and they just go through it. I would love to see a 2-hour edit, maybe longer than 2 hours. It could be like a 3-hour edit of all of the Open Gyms from the start up until we win the championship. And then the championship would be like the end of that segment. And then maybe they make the second one leading up to the second championship, something like that. I think that would be cool edit, and a movie edit showing like the real key stuff. Sue saying, right, at Tom, training camp is going to be wild ride to watch and see what happens. Yeah, they're saying 6 guys and 3 spots, and Delano's one of those 6 guys. Monique did mention this earlier. I missed the comment. Delano's been added to Team Canada's roster, and he was practicing with them in Victoria with the team. So he may be playing in the game in Panama tomorrow. That we may see Delano Banton as a fill-in for SGA and Nickel, since they're not going to be available for that Panama game. So Banton is on Team Canada. He's been added to the 45-man roster and stuff like that. So that's pretty damn cool. Pretty damn cool that Delano, we got 2 Raptors on Team Canada now. Nako the Nacho saying also, Open Gyms are also super cinematic, which I love. They really are. They really are. I mean, they are the creme de la creme. All the bells and whistles, all the feels and goosebumps you can get at a movie, you can get watching Open Gym, because they really do use that music, like, and then like the way it's cut, and then like, I mean, watching that episode with Quincy Acey and Aaron Gray when they got traded with Rudy Gay to Sacramento, that was such a powerful episode. Like, to see the real reaction of the players, like, that is the stuff we're talking about. This is the real deal Holyfield of the NBA and the ins and outs of it, and seeing real emotion from players getting traded and how that really affects them. That makes you understand these are people. These aren't just names on a piece of paper. These aren't just numbers on somebody's back. These are people, and they have emotions when they get traded and stuff. Open Gym taught us this. That's my opinion, saying, let's go Raptors. I bleed Raptors. I love that. That's my opinion. Hopefully we'll see you. I'm going to tell you, set your alarm right now. 9:30 a.m. Tuesday morning, 9:30 a.m. Raptor Freak Trivia. Set your alarm, please. Please set your alarm so you can be there and maybe back it up this time. Tom Duke saying, woohoo, attaboy. That's my opinion. Let's go. There we go. Tom Duke supporting your support for the Raptors. G saying Twitter is so toxic. If I was a player, I would not be on Twitter, but maybe it motivates some of these guys. Like I said, it's a great place for the players to really see the unfiltered opinions of the fans. And in fact, it is toxic. Some of it is so nasty and wrong. Like, I would not want to be on there. You know, I don't want to see my subscriber account to go up and down, because, you know, I'm like, so, yeah, I can't imagine being a player and having your identity tied in with your worth, and also like being on there and like verbally jousting people that disagree with you or say things about you like Kevin does, I can't imagine how that wears on you. Or just having what is he doing? Is he reading every single tweet that tags him? Because if he's doing that, he's doing mental damage to himself. He should not be reading every single thing these people write. They are writing horrible things about him. And then if Kevin Durant is reading every single thing that he is tagged in, he's reading a lot of garbage that he does not need to read that probably it's hurting his feelings and stuff like that. That's what I'm saying. That energy, he's feeding his brain with that kind of stuff. Well, no wonder he looks sour and he looks upset and stuff like that. And maybe that part of his perception of the whole situation in Brooklyn is shaped by how people talk on Twitter about him and the situation there and stuff like that. And I don't know. I think you're right. It is toxic. And I know that G in particular does not use Twitter because he's found that in the past. And I could see that if I think Scotty barely ever uses his Twitter. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to use each one of them for specific things. So maybe your Twitter's really good for making big announcements or something new. Like say Scotty goes on there and says, I have a new YouTube channel, y'all. Come follow me on YouTube. And that's all he does. He uses Instagram just to show stories every once in a while of him out bowling with his friends, or I'm at Chick-fil-A in Boca Raton all of a sudden. That's the kind of stuff that he's doing on that. And then he's got the Twitch, and then he doesn't do hardly anything on Twitter. There's different levels each player has on each thing. And it may be that Kevin needs to go away from Twitter and maybe go and find his social media stuff somewhere else for a while and stop doing this, because it's crazy. That's my opinion saying, I wonder how many burner accounts KD has on Twitter. I don't think he has any, because he's just using his account. I don't think he's hiding behind any Twitter fake account. That he's just basically going in straight up as himself with, and saying, I'll come in here and talk shit. And it is me. Look, it's my official handle, KD Trey. That's right. And stuff like that. And, this does probably motivate him. Like G was saying, that, this is the kind of thing like where if Michael was in this day and age, I'm sure he would probably maybe use Twitter to motivate him with some made up shit, just so he can, sometimes he had to do that because people feared Michael so much and respected him. They didn't want to give him any kind of kernel of motivation against them. So Michael would make up shit in his head. It's like, this man slugged my grandma. He'd be like, out in Lister, he slugged my grandma. I'm going to fucking dunk on him. That's the kind of things that Michael would make up in his head. He said, yeah, he said something about my grandma. He didn't say anything about his grandma. He wouldn't dare do that. Well, Michael may have said that in his own head just to make himself a psycho crazy, like, I'm going to destroy you on the court kind of guy. That's the kind of stuff that Michael Jordan was doing. I'm not lying. And, on Twitter, that would fuel his fire for sure. Going on there and seeing every little thing that people said about him. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. But like LeBron on Twitter is much more healthy. Like he's a little bit like Kevin. He will interact with the fans. He will reply to them, say stuff, but he's a little bit more positive. He's using Twitter more to put good things on blast, whether it's new projects, things that people are doing that he wants to celebrate. Maybe it's a political statement he wants to make about something that he feels strongly about, like Brittany Griner or something like that. That is more healthy kind of Twitter usage, what LeBron James does with his account, than what Kevin Durant's doing, or DeJounte Murray. He's another one that's not. Yeah, let's see right here. Nako's talking about DeJounte Murray put the Spurs on blast on Twitter, which I get because he wasn't in a place where he could compete there. I get it, but I don't. I don't get it. Listen, I think he's going to be just as well off in Atlanta. I know that sounds crazy. Trae Young is a little bit more of an upgrade in some ways, but I don't believe in the Hawks at all. I think that it's very telling that he's kind of come off his leash on Twitter since he left the Spurs, that maybe this indicates that the Spurs have some sort of policy on their team about people on Twitter, that you have to carry yourself a certain way. And that you don't do this kind of stuff like Kevin does. Like maybe if Kevin was on a team with Coach Popovich as his coach, he wouldn't be on Twitter doing this kind of stuff, because DeJounte wasn't really doing this when he was on the Spurs. But all of a sudden, he just showed up after he got traded. That's very telling to me. That may be something that has to do with San Antonio's team rules and stuff like that. And yeah, he's putting everybody on blast. He's looking really bad. Like I said, this is the thing. You can build your brand online a couple different ways. Well, his brand he's trying to build right now is I'm a tough guy. I want to come on the court. I like punking people. I like bullying people. I like talking like I'm a real tough guy in all kinds of different ways and stuff like that. That's kind of what he's doing right now. Tom Duke saying, I watched the start of yesterday again last night, and that Harden birthday cake story is hilarious on yesterday's stream. It is hilarious. I mean, seriously, if you see the clip, Tom, it is so funny. First of all, he looks like he's on one of these boats that goes around in Lake Ontario here in Toronto, like these dance boats. My friend DJ Ivan, he's a DJ on these boats. You can go on a boat cruise and have a dance party out in the middle of the water. That's what he looks like he's on, is like one of these dance boats in Lake Ontario here in Toronto. And it's funny because like the cake is very solid. Like he can ting it to the side. He has it laying like this and it doesn't fall apart. It's very solid. And he's holding it almost like a gun. And they hand it to him, and he's like, "Oh, okay, thank you." And right away, he just pitches it right like a Christmas tree into the trash. He's just like threw it right into the water, like right off board, overboard, and stuff like that. Really hilarious. Like, what a weird life. What a crazy dude. I had so much. I don't know why this made me like him even more. It's like such a weird trend of me increasing my respect and love for James Harden and stuff like that. It's so weird. It is so weird, Tom. I don't know. Between the way he's playing, the way he's working out this summer, Rico Hines, and saying nice things about Scotty Barnes, and now he's throwing cakes off a boat. Man, how can you not like the guy just a little bit? It's really weird. Tom's G saying, Tom, KD did have a burner account, laugh out loud, when he was in Golden State to tell off fans with. And Tom's saying, I vaguely remember that. Yeah, some like the twisted must be bored, and some like the arguments must be bored and twisted. You guys are probably right. He did have probably a burner account or two or something like that. That kind of phenomenon is kind of crazy and hilarious in itself. Whether it's politicians acting like somebody else to try and do something online, or an NBA player and things like that. I think the whole idea of a burner account is hilarious and stuff like that, and people doing things with that kind of stuff. You're probably right. They are probably more common than I think they are, as far as with NBA players and stuff like that. Kareem Thomas, good morning. Good to see you. I hope you'll say something else. Canadian Cowboy. What's up, Brad? Good morning, everybody. Let's go, Raptors. Yeehaw, Cowboy. Y'all, listen. If you have a paint job to do at your house, call Tada in Toronto area. Tada, the brothers Tada will come to your house and take care of this stuff. Just look them up. Tada. They will do any kind of home renovations and paint jobs for you. Looking out for you, Cowboy. Tada. That's the company. Just look them up. Tada. Tada. There you go. That's it right there. Boom, 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 boom. All right, let me see. All right, we got lots of comments. I'm gonna have to get on this. All right, let's see what's up. I love it. I love the love between Tom and Cowboy. Tom Duke is saying Boucher admitting how he got affected by nobody's comments really hit home with me because he was really affected when things weren't going right. That's what I'm saying. And this is why we need to have this channel, is we're positive Raptor fans that fight the toxic Raptor fans. The fans of other nations that are coming in to be crazy and their burner accounts themselves, acting like they're Raptor fans and stuff like that. We have to be there to support and love our guys when they're down, because that is the darkest time. That is the hardest time to deal with it. And that's the last thing you want to be doing, is going on social media when you're struggling as an NBA player. And this is true. Chris Boucher's Hustle Play podcast has been so illuminating. This is another area I should talk about. Chris Boucher's podcast is another kind of interaction with the fans and the players, where we get the insight directly from the player. And this is the thing. Chris is really being vulnerable, that he's on there really telling us the truth about the players and stuff. Like he said, they do look at stuff online. They do read things that they see, and they do hear the stuff, and that we need to be more respectful and considerate of them because of this. That's what I'm saying. Some people say, oh, they make so much money, they can handle it. That's part of the whole thing, is that they make the money to deal with this kind of stress and pressure. But still, listen, you go into a hard place in your career and you have to deal with things in that kind of way. That's crazy. Like if you're just an average Joe and you had to deal with that kind of pressure publicly in your own life, that's crazy and stuff like that. And I applaud Chris for being honest and open and vulnerable enough to talk about this in an honest way and say, yeah, you know what? They do read what y'all are saying. We do read it. Don't get it twisted. Pascal saw a lot of the stuff we said because of bubble stuff and because of different things. And it changed him. That is part of what changes these guys. And it may be that part of it is they figure out ways to safeguard themselves from getting these kind of attacks or criticisms or any kind of insults or stuff like that. They just figure it out and they know where not to look and where to look. And maybe they look for the people that are more constructive criticism, people that they could trust, that maybe it's like, okay, this person's not going to just make me feel like shit. Maybe there's something they're saying that I can get something from it and help me to become the best version of me. Because that's the way it is for all of us in our lives. Like people that we don't get along with or we have problems with, sometimes they're the best teachers for us on how to improve ourselves. That it's not always the problem is with them. It's that we need to realize what is going on in the interaction and stuff like that. And that anyway, I don't want to get too far off that track and stuff like that. But yeah, Boucher being open like this, and that's the thing. He has a podcast. He has a channel so that he can talk and tell us things and that we wouldn't know in any kind of other era and stuff like that. Unless he was going on a radio interview, he wouldn't do this with an interview. It had to be his own setup with him as his own host with Mike Roach and him being the person that talks about what he chooses to talk about. He wouldn't be this open and vulnerable with an interviewer because he wouldn't feel that safety that he does in his own show. And that's what I'm saying. The technology is so good that Chris Boucher can have the Hustle Play podcast and do it easy and be completely himself. And it's not a corporate kind of thing like Sportsnet, TSN, ESPN, something like that. That is all on his own. I mean, I know it's Yahoo, and that is kind of corporate, but yeah. Let's see. Canadian Cowboy saying Bant looks like he's going to step his game up. He looks hungry for some minutes. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I like what Delano's looked like at Rico Hines. He looked like he's fit in. He's finished really, really well. He's gotten up and down the court real nice and stuff like that. I think Delano's had a real good summer. And maybe on the down low, he's somebody we should be maybe like, wow, okay, maybe he has made a jump that we didn't totally realize this summer. And that next year, he may be kind of like Scotty and Precious. We expect them to have jumps in the things that their ability and things to do on the court. Well, maybe Delano might have a jump, and we're not paying a close enough attention to him. Monique saying, I hardly use Twitter anymore. When I became busy with Raptors and companies, my page flooded or just news updates. Yeah, you can really shape your Twitter by who you follow. And that's the way you should do it. Like, it really, if somebody you're following does not make you feel good or like I hate this, stop following them. Really shape who you follow and what your news feed looks like. And that will help you to get like the best out of Twitter because there will be a lot of like junk. There's just a lot of junk on there. There's like a lot of stupid stuff. Like one of the things I don't like about Twitter is there's a lot of like these weird automatic bot like accounts that they generate like fake news about the NBA. And they're kind of like, they'll be like Adrian Wojnarowski instead of Janowski. He'll be like just a slightly different spelling of Woj's name. And they're putting out like things like Stanley Johnson traded to Washington Wizards for Kristaps Porzingis or something like that. And then all of a sudden you're like, what? And oh, this is a fake account. It's just like Ball Sack Sports. It's like that parody account. It's kind of like The Onion, where they do like sports, like The Onion would. Where like The Onion fools people all the time in real politics. They write articles. They're jokes. They're sarcastic. And people read them, and because the world's so fucked up these days, they think, oh, the Onion's real because it could be real, some of the shit. That's how absurd our world has become. Well, now they have the whole thing with Ball Sack Sports and different accounts like that, putting out fake news and stuff like that. They had that quote from Chet Holmgren this summer that I was like, holy shit, did he really say that? He said something like, the quote said, "I'm going to come into the league and own all these N words." I'm like, did Chet really say that? And I thought he did really say that at first, and then I had to really check. Oh, it's not. Look at the source, Ballsack News or Ballsack Sports. It's bullshit. So there's a lot of these troll accounts that are not factual, that are just made up. Some of them are random, just bullshit. Like they're saying the Raptors have drafted so and so's name. Those are really annoying and stuff like that. But you really just got to shape your news feed. Make sure you're following the right accounts. You know, people like Woj, Shams, Sharms, or whatever. Josh Lewenberg, Michael Grange, Blake Murphy, Eric Kareem. You know, you get all those Raptor, Savannah Hamilton, Paul Jones, Leo Routins, Jack Armstrong, Matt Devlin. Boom, get all the Raptors people and follow all them and stuff like that. But get rid of all the garbage. And you can follow me on Twitter. I'm on Twitter as daily new music videos. I post new videos every single day, 2 a day, every single day. The newest stuff from people like Tears for Fears and Courtney Barnett and all kinds of great artists and stuff like that. Let's see. Tom Duke saying, been coming up with 2023 Raptor lineups in my mind. All of them are scary. What is your fourth quarter lineup? Ooh, that's a good question, Tom. Yeah, I love the ideas that we can come up, the permutations and the choices of the lineup. Like we could have like Coloco involved now. It's like it really gives us a whole kind of different look of like another level of hell for other teams to try and score on. You know, my end of the game kind of team, well, obviously, is going to be dependent on who's doing really well. Like Boucher could be doing really well, and he's in the end of the game. And when the starters is out, same thing for Precious. It's really going to be that kind of thing. We should expect the starters with maybe one or two guys that didn't start being in there just because they're having really good games. And that's kind of really the way Nick Nurse figures out who closes the game out is like who's had a really good game off the bench and maybe somebody on the starting team hasn't had as good a game, and then that's who gets in there and stuff. So Cowboys saying we're stacked, Tom, top to bottom. Watch out, NBA. We really are stacked. Okay, look, we got Chet the Iceman Holmgren is here today. We have another guest on the show. We've had Kyrie Irving recently. Now we got Chet. Let's see what Chet's saying. What do you think about LeBron ruining my season? Wow, man. Wow. You blaming LeBron, Chet? I mean, because there wasn't a lot of contact there. I'm not seeing him like really hit you that hard. Like, this is not really real NBA contact yet. This was pro am. And this was like the very first play, Chet. What's going on with you, man? Like, I know that LeBron did not do this on purpose. Let's see what else you're saying. I had the greatest summer league game ever with 23 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, and 6 blocks. I have Hall of Fame potential, but LeBron purposely ran me over. Holy crap, Chet. I mean, do you really think he did this on purpose? I don't think he did. He's not a hater like that. He wants you to be able to play. He wants you to be out there on the court. They all want you to be out there. It's just it looked really bad, man. Like, I don't even know if didn't you just step on it wrong? And then the ligament just kind of snapped? Like, it didn't look like LeBron hit you very hard or touched you barely, Chet. I mean, I don't understand this. Canadian Cowboys saying our bench can beat most teams' starting lineups. I believe with that. Pow, 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 pow. Yeah, I believe that. All right, Chet, what else is Chet saying? Should LeBron be fined or suspended for purposely trying to hurt me? No, he didn't purposely do this. As much as I hate LeBron most of the time, I can't get him in trouble for this because he didn't do anything wrong, man. It's too bad, Chad. We all feel bad for you. I'm not gonna lie. I know I said when they drafted you and I saw your body frame, I was like, man, this guy's gonna be a bust. And right now I'm being proven right so far. I feel bad for you, dude. This has got to be scary. You got to take a whole first year off. You know what? If I were you, I would hit that gym and I would get as big as you can get. Because listen, you can't be like Poku, man. Don't be like Poku. You're gonna have 2 of these guys on the Oklahoma City Thunder run around looking like skeletons with just a little bit of meat around them. I'm telling you right now, Chet, you need to go eat at the buffet. You need to get the weights and just get bigger for next season because you're gonna need the word for you needs to be sturdy. That's right, Chet. You need to get more sturdy like our guy, Mr. Scotty Barnes. He's a very sturdy young man. And you are not a sturdy young man right now from what we're seeing. So go hit the buffets. Go to Golden Corral. Go to every single Chinese food buffet. Maybe if you're here in Canada, you can go to whatchamacallit that we like to go to sometimes. What is that? Oh crap. I'm blanking on it. It's a chain. It's a buffet. It's the best. It's got so much crab legs and stuff like that. Oh, why can't I think of that one? That buffet that I went to with my grandmother and my parents. I can't think of it. I can't think of it. Anyway, just go eat a lot, okay, Chad, and lift. You may not. I don't know how much you can do with this ligament on your feet, so you're gonna need to get your upper body up and you got a whole year to do it. So get yourself ready for next year. So that's what I'll say. But LeBron doesn't deserve to get fined. No, he doesn't. Rank Scrubs here. Good to see you, Rank Scrub. OKC should be fined for overdrafting. Yeah, you can get overdraft fees at your bank. Why can't you get an overdraft fee for having too many draft picks and drafting too many players? Like Oklahoma City, how many fucking players do you have on your team right now? You have like 30 players. Well, it's kind of good, I guess, because you had one just leave and not be able to play this year. And you're getting a $4.5 million reduction on your salary cap or an extra because of the bonus. It's called a disability bonus for Chet missing the season. Now, there's a whole list of players that have missed their first season of the NBA, and some of them are interesting because they've done all right. They've been okay missing their first year and made up for it. But then there's some names on that list that never recovered and never did actually become a good NBA player. So, Chet, we'll have to see whether you are a guy who is busted out already or you will reclaim your NBA career in your second year and stuff like that. We'll have to see what's up. Let's see. Tom's saying it's no way that it's LeBron's fault what happened to you, Chet Holmgren. Okay. It was not LeBron's fault. Chet's saying, I'm Kevin Durant, but with elite defense. LeBron knew I was a threat, so he's out to get me. You may have been a threat. I won't lie with that. I don't know. Like, you do have a little bit of Kevin Durant in you. I won't lie about that. But the defense thing, okay. You're the kind of defender that's kind of like Chris Boucher when he first started. Really good at shot blocking, really good at like coming over and messing up shots, but you're not a good physical defender. You have no low post defense. You can a big guy in the NBA is going to be able to back you down and treat you like a rag doll and just put that ball in over you, Chet. So you're not an elite defender in the NBA. I'm sorry, you're not. You can be all the badass blocks in the world, but you can't stop anybody in reality. That there's certain guys like Kenny Lofton Jr. did in Summer League that are just going to be able to push you around and do whatever they want to you on the low block. So be ready for that as far as things, Chet. But yeah, I can give you a little bit for your offense. Your offense looks real nice. You have a nice stroke on the outside. You have free range. And because of your height, you're really hard to stop because you can shoot over everybody and stuff like that. But I won't give you anything on your defense. Sure, you can block shots. We'll give you that. But that's the only thing I'll give you. Rank Scrub saying there's no way in hell that Chet worked hard at weights. No, he's like me. I've never really lifted weights either in my life. Hardly at all. And, it is what it is. So, everyday life. But yeah, I think you're right, Rank Scrub. I don't think Chet's been working out at all. Tom, you're retracting your messages. I'm not sure why. Also, Rank Scrub saying like Chet needs to be able to do weighted bear crawls. He needs to be doing dead bug rolls. He needs body rigidity exercise. It sounds like Rank Scrub is actually a trainer. That somebody knows like these things like that, and they're actually giving him a good little regimen right here. That maybe Chet, you need to write this down. Come on, Chet, you're still in here. Write down what Rank Scrub's saying right here because you may just be getting some expert personal training advice right here. And maybe you just need to write down these things right here and start doing this workout that Rank Scrub's saying right here because they probably know how you could add a little bit more upper body. Like I look like a muscle man compared to you, Chet, and I am not a muscle man. Let's just put it that way. Tom Dukes 100% to Rank Scrub. That's right. He endorses what Rank Scrub is saying. G saying players like LeBron, Embiid, etc. have no mercy on rookies. Look what they tried to do to Scotty. LeBron throwing the ball. Yeah, I think G's saying this tongue in cheek. Um, I mean, yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, Embiid did step on his ankle, and I think LeBron's really was just frustrated. Like, it's like, I understand this guy's the future. I wish I was as young as this kid and had everything going forward like he has. Like, I'm at the end of my career almost, and he's at the very beginning of his career. And like, there's a little bit of that kind of frustration with LeBron throwing the ball at him. I really do read that move as like, listen, this is the young kid who's coming in. He can tell this is the dude who's going to be taken kind of be around his spot as being a top dude in the league. And you know, throwing the ball at Scotty is a compliment to Scotty from LeBron in a lot of ways on the down low. It really is. G saying Embiid throwing and elbowing and stepping on him, their bodies need to be strong. You got to be ready. Like, listen, fuck this whole draft a skinny guy and wait for him to fill out kind of thing that Oklahoma City's doing with Chet. That's not going to work. This dude could be like Manute Bol, Sean Bradley, and be skinny his whole damn career. And that's the thing. These frames are not built for the NBA. This is just historically proven. Sean Bradley had a lot of injuries while he played. Manute Bol had a lot of injuries while he played. If you are not sturdy and strong and you have a nice NBA body that can take the physicality, can take people like Serge Ibaka banging into you, I'm sorry, you are not built for this league. It's just like the same thing with height. If you're a certain height and you're a certain skill level, you just don't translate and get to the next level. Well, I can say the same thing about not having the right physical size out. And that's what I'm saying about Chet. Chet may be all kinds of interesting unicorn, this and that. But the reality is, you have to have some prerequisites to survive in the NBA. And that is being a sturdy NBA player with size, player NBA kind of level of strength and size. And you can be a little dude and be fine, like Allen Iverson was. It's just you better be really fucking tough and be able to get hit like crazy, do crazy shit going to the basket. When you're a little guy like Allen Iverson flying through the air and you get nailed in the middle of the air and scary, that's what I'm saying. It takes a special breed of that kind of thing. And he's an exception, not the rule. And that's what I'm saying. Chet Holmgren, I don't know if you have an NBA body. That you and Scotty are buddies. You're in the same agency together. And I know that Scotty really thinks big of you, but he is the exact opposite of what you are as far as coming into the NBA with an NBA ready body. And that's a big difference. And that is the biggest thing that's going to be the problem for Chet is, and this is the thing, all the great things about him won't matter if he cannot play. That's what I'm going to say over and over again. He can't play this year now. So who cares if he can shoot threes like crazy or he looks like Dirk sometimes out there on the court? If he can't play, it don't fucking matter, does it? So, all right, let's see. Cowboys saying Banton on Canada is fucking awesome. I love that too. I really do. I really warmed my heart seeing him in the footage, in the pictures, working out with them in the Canada jersey this week, stuff like that. G saying, in other words, they don't care if you're a rookie or not. Yeah, yeah, I mean, listen, they're gonna it's a cutthroat league either way. They're gonna have to earn respect. In fact, that's part of what your hello, welcome to the league is. You get put on your ass, get knocked around. And it wasn't even like that. What Chet is saying that LeBron did to him in this chat is bullshit. LeBron did not come at him. LeBron was going to the basket normal, and Chet just happened to be like debris or in the way, kind of sideline damage, just on the sideline kind of damage of him coming through. I don't think he even directed his energy or body towards him. He was going to the rim, and Chet just kind of got knocked to the side of the force and energy of LeBron. There's nothing that he did on purpose. And it is a fluke injury in a lot of ways. Like Scotty said it when he watched it. He said that can happen to guys at any time. It sure probably didn't help that that floor was all wet and crazy and stuff like that. And they may be investigating that, whether that had a role in things, that the crossover event had a very wet floor and that Chet had a season-ending injury on it and stuff like that. So it's crazy. Danelle saying, ta-da, ta-da. Remember, guys, ta-da for your painting and remodeling needs in Toronto. Ta-da. Look it up. You'll get Canadian Cowboy and his brother. That's right. Ta-da. All right, Chet's got more to say. Let's see what Chet's saying. We got a lot of we're respecting you, Chet, because our guy Scotty Barnes loves you a lot. and he's told us to be nice to you. Scotty is a good player. He asked for my autograph a few months ago. I gave him a great deal on it, only charged him $20. Wow, that was so benevolent of you, Chet Holmgren. Did you pay him $50 for his autograph the other way? Because that's really how it should have been. He shouldn't have been paying you for any autograph. You should have been paying the rookie of the year, the guy who's already got a year under his belt and is looking like he might be an all-star this year. Yeah, yeah, that's if he gave you $20, well, you must have gave him 50 back. Let's just put it that way. Rank Scrub saying Talladega Nights is a great sports movie. I love this. This is so random. When the Frenchman shows up and tells Ricky that he's there to defeat him, thinking that Americans would welcome the competition, they didn't because they were scared. I love this. I love that Rank Scrub is bringing up Talladega Nights. And he's talking about Sacha Baron Cohen's character, who's the bad guy, the French guy, and all the trash talk and stuff like that. I think this is hilarious that you brought this up, thinking that the Americans would welcome the competition. They didn't because they were scared. Yeah, Will Ferrell's character in that movie is very scared. Like he's a number one. Anything but number one is loser. But also, he's a very like vulnerable, scared individual. Like he uses John C. Riley's character to be a buffer to keep him safe, literally in the races. Like he gets him to bash any kind of threat to him winning with his buddy. I forget what his name is in the movie, but they're hilarious. It's such a good movie. I'm glad you brought that up, Rank Scrub. And I get what you're trying to say as far as like the context of what we're talking about with Raptors today. Tom Duke saying at chat, just saying no lies allowed here. Listen, this is fun. We like having celebrity guests, Tom. And if we got Chet the Iceman Holmgren in here with us right now, I am very honored and I appreciate it. I don't know if it's the real account. I'm going to guess it probably is. So we'll just act like it is out of respect for Chet. Lolita saying, I don't know, but rookies seem to be the target with LeBron, whether intentionally done or not. He should be aware of his size. I feel bad about Chet's sideline before he even started. Yeah, I don't know. I've never noticed this about LeBron. You guys have noticed this about LeBron that he goes after rookies. He said, "Welcome to the league, rookie, bitch!" Bam! It's like I could hear him like saying that in a Rick James voice. Welcome to the league, bitch! Bam! It's so good. I don't know. I've never noticed this about LeBron. Sure, I can be very critical and like put down LeBron and saw them get mad at him all kinds of ways, but I have to be fair here. I've never noticed LeBron has actually gone after young players like what you guys are saying here. But maybe you're right. I don't know. The whole thing with Scotty is a little different than things. Now, the thing with Embiid was really bad that we were talking about earlier, stepping on him and elbowing people in the face and stuff like that. But LeBron, it's really it's a kind of like a Shaq thing. It's weird. Like Shaq and LeBron are very similar in some ways. They don't know their own strength. That LeBron is such a freak of nature with his athleticism and his body that there may be something weird about him that we don't realize, that like his pinky finger is like super, super strong. And then it could be that just there's something about him that is very dangerous because he's got kind of a Shaq body, kind of like power to him. And that may be part of it. Is Shaq could hurt people real easy if he wasn't careful about protecting people and not trying to club people. Like if he was like Joel Embiid, he would probably kill somebody. But he was really smart about not hurting people and not using his full strength in certain ways on the court. Maybe that LeBron has certain strength that's Shaq-like, and that he doesn't control it as well as Shaq used to. Because Shaq really could hurt people left and right. And he was looking out for people all the time and stuff like that because he really could. Shaq he's another level of strength in that league and stuff like that. Monique saying that's what Pascal takes is all about for him to open up, and Pascal goes deep. Yeah, listen, the clips this weekend with Pascal, we're seeing him breaking ankles. We've seen one guy just fall completely over. It's too bad Pascal doesn't make that particular shot because that clip is really nice. The one where Pascal dribbles every which way, and then this dude literally falls on his back, and then Pascal shoots it, but he doesn't make the shot, which is too bad. But yeah, there's some couple of moves where he cooks some people in the latest Rico Hines that it's just not nasty. It's like, oh my gosh, he is so good at getting open. Like there's nobody that can stop him. Like he is, and this is the thing. It's proven at the NBA level against the toughest NBA teams and defenses. There's nobody that can stop Pascal. Is like water that will run through the cracks of a defense, and he will get to the goal no matter what. He will seep through it, spin through it, sneak through it any kind of way and get to that basket, and he will make the shot. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited to see Pascal this season. Denal saying, I agree at Tom Duke. In regards to thinking about lineup, super scary. Yeah. Like, all right, let's say, what if we have Scotty running point, OG at shooting guard, Chris Boucher at small forward, Pascal at power forward, and like Koloko at center. That is an insane tall lineup. That is an insane tall lineup, very big lineup, and very much can be run and have no problems. Like you can have Scotty be the point guard and distributing the ball, OG at shooting guard, Chris Boucher at small forward. This is somebody we were playing at center a couple years ago and could be really the power forward also. That's the craziness of this lineup is we can be very tall all the way through. That's the thing. Everybody's saying, oh, you have too many power forwards and so well, we want to play all power forwards. And because we have skilled power forwards that can carry the ball and stuff like that. So I'm excited about that for sure. So scary. So scary. Pascal at the 3. Yeah. Put him at the 3. He can fit there too. I don't like getting him into the guards. Like the 3 or the 4 are really the 2 spots where Pascal should be. But guys like Boucher, he can be at the 3 or the 4 also now at this point, which is great because we would have to play him at the 5 or the 4 in the past. G saying Pascal looked dominant in the runs recently. Yeah, he really has. Like he's put in the most work. It's like kind of like a mandatory. If there's gonna be a Rico Hines clip, we're gonna see Pascal in it. Like every single one of them this summer. I think Pascal has been there every single day. And it was funny because they brought this up on Scotty's Twitch on Friday. And one of his friends was saying, I think it was Nick. Nick was saying, yeah, Pascal's been at Rico Hines every single week that Rico Hines has been running. And Scotty goes, yeah, that's because Rico's his trainer. He's always with Rico. Every summer he's with him. He's been with him all summer before the Rico Hines runs, is what Scotty said. He said, yeah, well, what do you expect? That's his trainer. That's his personal trainer. Like Brian Macon is my personal trainer. Well, Rico Hines, he's doing the runs, but it's like he's still his trainer, like for the whole summer. And that's a big part of the reason why Pascal himself is in every single Rico Hines clip pretty much this summer because that's his trainer, as Scotty put it. Of course, he's going to be there. Denal saying, I'm still on my Jalen Harris kick at Tom Duke. I just don't know who we can let go to fit all these guys. Champagnie, Banton, Wilson, Harris, Brown, even if we got rid of Svi and Flynn. Well, we're not going to get rid of Flynn, but we could get rid of Svi. I still think that we're going to have Delano Banton, Juancho, and DJ Wilson added to the team. I'm not thinking that we're going to get Justin Champagnie on the team this year still, just partly because he's been hurt this whole summer. He hasn't been really able to show anything, and that's sad and that sucks, but that's just the breaks and stuff like that. Gabe Brown is definitely going to be on 905 and not going to make the roster. Jalen Harris is not going to make the team. He's not even on the radar. We haven't given him a qualifying offer. We've just said we'd like to retain his rights, but we haven't actually given him a deal. So he's not actually in the plans. And then there's people like Culver. Culver and Brown are the same place. I really do think DJ Wilson, because he's shown up so much, and Rico Hines put in a lot of work. He's run a lot of time with the main guys. Like he's been on a lot of teams with Pascal and Koloko and Fred VanVleet and stuff like that when they've been running. And he's looked pretty good. His defense isn't the best, but his offense is really solid and he's active and he's trying. Like if he plays really hard on defense and he shows Nick Nurse that he is making extra effort beyond what he's normally done in his NBA career on the defensive end, I think DJ Wilson will have a really good shot to get one of these roster spots. If we're going to have to decide between him and Justin, I want DJ Wilson just because he's a better player. He's a better NBA player in a lot of different ways. And that's just how I feel about it. But Svi may get, I think Svi's done. Honestly, I have not heard him in any kind of way connected with us. Is he going to show up just like him and Juancho show up from Europe and next month and then boom, we'll see? I don't know. So I don't know what to expect with Svi Mohalet. But yeah, I want Banton, Wilson, and Wancho. Those are the three guys I want on the team. Danelle saying somebody's got to go. Rank Scrub saying an amazing new music artist is JD. JD. All right, I have to check that out. Serge Ibaka has a new album out, guys. A full album. This isn't just him dropping some sort of island tune where he's hanging out with really hot women in bathing suits and he's drinking some nice drinks and singing some smooth lyrics. No, he has a whole album out now. Serge Ibaka dropped his new album. We're gonna have to go listen to it, see what it's all about, stuff like that. Yeah. So just so you know, Serge with something new out. There's a lot of good new music out. Like I said, we were telling Scotty what music to listen to because he wants to know new stuff. And I was telling him like Bob B.O.B. Got a really good stuff out right now. Bob and Rock Marciano and The Alchemist. Go check that out. These are a couple of things I'm into right now. The new Jid is really good too. He is quite talented, stuff like that. And I really do like Kendrick Lamar this year and stuff like that. So we were putting a couple of different artists out there for Scotty to listen to. Is that honestly, Scotty, if you're gonna listen to rap music, get away from the drill ops. Get away from the guys who are just singing bling bling bling. I got my gun. I'm hanging out my window with my Uzi and I'm shooting everybody in the street. And maybe stop listening to that and start listening to some hip hop that's intelligent. Maybe has something that teaches about something political or something about like the struggle for civil rights or something like anything that has something worthwhile in it. It may be that you like the lyrics because they rhyme really well, or the person used really colorful, one of the videos this week that I watched was the Rock Marciano video. He says Sam Cassell in the video, like in one of the lyrics. I love when they name drop people or they just throw in like random stuff. And I think that that's the kind of hip hop you should be listening to, Scotty. That intelligent hip hop, kind of like old Tribe Called Quest, Boogie Down Productions, KRS One, Public Enemy, conscious. Like it can have an edge. It can be badass. They can sing about guns, but maybe they sing about it in a way that has more of a light and something purpose to it instead of just the same repeated over and over again drill ops bullshit. Because I've watched all that shit and it's all the same. They're at a gas station. They got guns. They got booty hose. They got money. They got you see the same tropes in the same videos over and over again. And I understand there's musical differences, subtle differences in the tunes, but they all look the same and sound the same to me. Like I would not be doing that kind of stuff. It happens in other genres. In heavy metal, you just get a bunch of guys with long hairs and beards, and they're just cranking on the guitars. It's all the same too. So that's what happens with genres. They get stale and tired, and there's too many of the same kind of artists in that genre. And I really feel like that's what's happening with drill ops rap right now. Is that it's all the same. It's boring. It's the same stupid messages, and it perpetuates violence in communities where innocent people get shot. And that's why I'm not about it. No, I'm not. I'm not at all. All right, let's see. Chet the Iceman Holmgren is still here, and let's see what he's saying. I can't stand Brian Winders. He talks a lot of trash. Did he say something about you, Chet? Or something like that? I would think that Chet Holmgren is mad at Brian Winders because maybe he told the truth? I don't know. Danelle saying apparently these runs are like 2 weeks old at G. Yeah, yeah, because all last week Rico Hines was in Rwanda, so he's been in Africa for the last week. So these runs are from 2 weeks ago. There were 3 weeks of August runs, and they were the first 3 weeks of August and stuff like that. And Steph Curry is near the end of the last week, the third week, and we'll see Steph Curry in the next couple clips that get dropped in the next couple days. Let's see. G saying that's what I heard too, so that means he is even better. Laugh out loud. I'm not sure what that's in reference to, but it's all good. Kenny saying Chet looks fragile from day one. Mandarin, that's the restaurant. Kenny knew it is Mandarin. That was the restaurant I was trying to remember. Yeah, Chet, go to Mandarin. Like, I know you're not here in Canada. You're probably not coming up here. But if you did, you need to go to Mandarin. And you know what? You need to tell the employees to keep you in there for like 4 hours. And you can't let me leave until I'm here for 4 hours eating straight. Just do that shit. Chet. Seriously. If I was in your management, I would be telling you to get to the buffet. Oh my gosh. Cowboys saying, I can't believe Chet said this, bro. No, he didn't really say that. That's what I'm saying. That Ballsack Sports is a parody site, just like The Onion, and they make bullshit up. But they made something up where Chet had a comment saying, I'm going to come in this league and mess all these N words up. And I saw it at first, and they didn't. They put the word there, and I'm like, holy shit! Did he really say that? Like that's fucked up. He did not say that. But this parody site is trying to be funny, thinks it's funny, and they put misinformation out there. There's dumb people out there that will read that and think that Chet actually said the N word and said that about those people and stuff like that. So that's what I'm saying. That you got to really suss out what you're reading. Sometimes they're parody sites and they're not real and shit. It's really messed up. Marlon Toby's here. Good to see Marlon. Yeah, and Victor Banyama is the same frame who the Pistons, Magic, and OKC are salivating over for 2023 draft. Sorry. Yeah, Marlon, same kind of thing. I've seen Victor a couple clips, and he does look like the same kind of Kristaps Porzingis, Chet Holmgren kind of frame. And that people are going so crazy about these stick men all over the place and stuff like that. I tend to agree with you. I think it's always a folly to try and tank. Like I hate that the Spurs are doing this year. I understand they're kind of in a regular spot where they need to hit a floor and bottom out for a little while, and really because they were so good for decades, and now they're kind of at a natural place where they just have to be near the bottom because it just naturally happens from time to time. But you know, it is a good way to try and get out of it by trying to get to Victor. But I still don't like any of this kind of tanking. And any of these teams that are tanking this year, only one of them is going to get Victor, and the other ones are going to just be like, we tanked. And it's not that great and stuff like that. So I never agree with this. And we know Utah, San Antonio, those teams for sure, and OKC probably now for sure are going to be tanking this year. I don't know about the Pistons and the Magic, though. Those teams are good. They have some really good young players. I think the Pistons are going to be way better than people think. I think they might actually be better than Cleveland and Atlanta this year. And that there may be a little bit of a weird shuffling of the Central Division of things kind of going up and down a bit. Like Indiana is definitely going to be low. But I think that Pistons are going to actually be a legitimate play-in team, possibly a playoff team, but probably not a playoff team, but the legitimate play-in team this year. Magic, I don't have as much faith in, but they could be. They're not actually tanking. I don't think the Magic will be trying to tank this year. Canadian Cowboys saying, stop eating the kids' meals. To Chet Holmgren, stop eating the kids' meals. If you go to McDonald's, don't just get the Happy Meal. You need to get on that value meal, and you need to spend like a $50 tab. Just get a whole bunch of junk food at McDonald's, Chet, and just start stuffing your face. Like, you know what? Go get an old school Fat Boys cassette tape and listen to the Fat Boys' first couple albums. Fat Boys Are Back, Fat Boys, Big and Beautiful. Get those 3 albums and put them in your old boombox from the 80s cassette player and listen to the Fat Boys while you're pigging out, and it'll inspire you to eat even more because they do sing about eating a lot of food and stuff like that, and they could really help you get some weight on you just by listening to them. The Fat Boys are proven to put some weight on you if you listen to great hip hop trio, the Fat Boys from the early 80s with Run DMC and all those old great hip hop bands. Fat Boys, Cool Rock Ski, the Dominating MC, the Master of Disaster, the King of the Bees, and Prince Marky D, and the Human Beatbox. Go listen to Fat Boys. Yeah, that'll get you some weight. All right, let's see. Lolita's saying, I love Spicy P, hard worker, dedicated, loving son, and good person. Winner. Go Raptors. Yeah, Pascal is amazing. I love Pascal so much. Listen, this guy got paid. He got a nice house for his mom. He's got all kinds of great things going for him, and he is not resting. This is like Rico said, he's the hardest working player he's ever worked with in the ever in the history of him working out with players. Pascal is numero uno for the hardest working player that Rico Hines has ever worked with. And that is saying so much. Look at all the different players that have been coming through, the star-studded guys like Trae Young, Steph Curry, James Harden. And he's saying this about Pascal. This is a big deal. Monique saying, "Don't get me going on the Sean Bradley story. Too sad." Yeah. Oh my gosh. Let's not talk about Sean Bradley and his bike accident and his health problems now. Not good stuff. Yeah. Facts. That's what Denial's saying too. G saying, Embiid took out Josh Giddey as well. These guys do welcome to the league plays. Not knocking it, but think it is a thing, and they probably went through it too. Yeah, it could be something like the hazing for rookies where they have to carry Dora the Explorer backpacks. That's a part of welcome to the NBA. It's like, hello, welcome to the NBA. This is a little bit more physical. Bam. This is a little bit more fast. This is a little bit more cerebral. You cannot be on autopilot. You have to be thinking ahead and be 2 steps ahead of everything happening on the court. Because if you're that way, if you are actually a cerebral, high IQ basketball player, you can do really well in the league. In fact, being smart on the basketball court and knowing where to be and what time and doing what is one of the best strengths you can have in basketball today, for sure. And that's something Ron Harper Sr. was saying, that his son, he taught Ron Harper Jr. how to be a smart basketball player and know what to do at all times on the court. That some of these players are coming in just on talent and they're really good players, but they don't have kind of basketball smarts, basketball IQ, stuff like Dennis Rodman, Larry Bird had, things like that. So, yeah, I forgot about the Embiid injury to Giddey. And that's true. That, like, I think Embiid, it's more indicative of Embiid and him just being careless and reckless with people around him. Lolita saying at G, as Alexi said, welcome to the league. I feel bad about the rookies as they are not prepared for the actions that come their way. Victor Oladipo has got a good voice. He was a contestant at The Masked Singer a few seasons ago. I did not know that Victor Oladipo was on The Masked Singer. That's pretty cool. I like that. That's really cool. That show's an interesting show. I've enjoyed it at times, but they've had a lot of people that I'm kind of like, Sarah Palin. We don't need to be Rudy Giuliani. Fuck this shit. I don't want these people on blast, putting them on TV like this. Fuck these motherfuckers. Put the mask back on them. Maybe make them wear it for the rest of their lives in disgrace, is what I was saying. But that's just how it is. One of the things is, look at our rookie last year, Scotty Barnes. Well, he didn't have too much bad injuries or anything bad, knock on wood. There was a little bit of COVID in the middle there. There's a couple of little things with his knee here and there at times, but he was very sturdy. And, for the end of the season, he was stronger and stronger near the end of the season, where everybody else was getting tired, even the vets and stuff. And Scotty looked like he was thriving more and more in the last month or so of the season. That other rookies hit rookie walls, got tired, had other problems, and our rookie was excelling and hitting the gas even harder to the floor going to the end of the season and just kicking so much butt. And that's part of the reason why he tied up the Rookie of the Year award, is that he finished so strong when everybody else was exhausted, everybody else was tired. And that includes not just rookies, that includes the vets on teams and stuff like that. Everybody else was tired. Scotty was not tired at the end of the season. And that is very, very telling and interesting about him. So there's exceptions to the rule. You could be a very tough, sturdy rookie and not have to deal with any of this kind of stuff that we're describing, the welcome to the league kind of stuff and things. And Scotty did get it. He got a ball slung at him by LeBron. He got stepped on by Joel Embiid. So he did get his welcome to the league moments, but he weathered them and was strong enough to overcome them in the right ways, whether it was mentally with the LeBron thing or physically and bouncing back with his young, strong health to be able to come back and still play in that series after that horrific ankle injury by Joel Embiid to him. That says a lot about his strength and sturdiness, that he could come back that quickly. Because, doctors and people say that kind of a twist or that kind of thing, that puts people out for 2 months. And he was barely out a week. So that's a big tell about all that stuff. I love that you brought up Masked Singer and Victor Oladipo. That show's fun. I should start watching it again when it comes back on again, the new season. Kenny saying new music. The group Coast Contra is legit. Coast Contra. All right, I'll have to check them out, Kenny. Thanks for the tip. I really just see videos from music from videos and stuff like that. So, but I'll look them up. I'll find them out. Monique saying, agree on Champagny. Big Time took his profile picture down on IG. Does that tell you anything? Listen, it's got to be sad and depressing. Like we've been saying, these guys are human beings. They have dreams and aspirations. They have things that they want. And sometimes the timing of different things with injury or different things, like they draft different players and things don't work out. Things are, it is a cutthroat business. And Nick has said this summer is like injuries can make a decision for who gets the team and who doesn't. And when I heard that from Nick Nurse's mouth this summer, that is him saying that if you're hurt, you were probably going to get cut. And that's the thing that Justin didn't need. That I know it's his wrist and it sucks. And he probably hates it because he wishes he could just be out there proving himself, doing all the things that things like Delano and DJ Wilson are doing right now. He really needed to do himself this summer. So hopefully he can just get healthy and make something up this off season in the training camp. But there's no guarantees, and he is at a real disadvantage in some ways, and it's too bad. It kind of sucks in some ways. All right, let's see. Chet saying Winders pushes fake narratives. Plus, when I went to ESPN, I labeled my lunch and put it in the refrigerator. When I came back a few hours later, I checked and my lunch was gone. Brian is my number one suspect. Have a good day. Thanks, Chet. Well, once again, thanks for dropping in, Chet. We appreciate this. I actually, out of all the people on ESPN and the people that talk on that channel, he's the one I trust the most. Sure, maybe he's connecting the dots. Maybe he's taking little things and connecting them together. And maybe he's not always factual and completely right because he's assuming things. And we know that that can make an ass out of him and us. So I still think that he's very credible. That, listen, the way he deduces things is very logical and makes sense. And I'd much rather have somebody making deductions in their head from an educated, smart position that makes sense than just some jackass who's just like, I want to write a sensational tagline or a cover line so that we attract clicks or something like that. That it really doesn't have anything to do with anything. Like some of these guys like Jacoby and Jalen and stuff like that. So I actually think that Brian Winders is one of the best people on ESPN right now because he's actually factual and he's pretty good about what he's saying. Some of these other people are fluff. They're not really reporters. They're not really analysts. But I think that Brian Winders actually is. I don't know if he stole your lunch. Maybe he did. Maybe he did. And maybe he was part of the problem, Chet, because we all know you need to be eating. And that if somebody took your lunch at ESPN, they did you a disservice. And maybe instead of blaming LeBron for getting hurt, maybe you need to blame the people who are stealing the food off your table and taking away those pounds that should be on your frame and stuff like that. Have a good day, Chet. And seriously, get to Golden Corral today. Just go right down there and say, I want this part of the restaurant reserved. Give me like these 3 tables and just bring out all your Golden Corral delicacies and just lay them all a spread on the table and I'll just lay on it and blah, 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 eat it all up. Stuff like that. I love it. Monique saying, Lex, just to remind you, Open Gym has won great awards. That is a great thing. And they should, because listen, if this was in an American show and it was made in the States, this thing would have won like Emmys, sports Emmys, all kinds of stuff. They would be winning Emmys down south. And I think they might have won some Emmys. I don't know. I don't remember what the awards they are that won, but it is definitely award-winning a series because it's just made at such a high quality and just done so well. I love that show so much. All right, we're at 90 minutes. I think I said most of what I want to say about today's subject. That social media age really is different. The NBA has a totally different kind of thing to it. The interconnectedness between fans and players is at an all-time high. That you can get Kevin Durant's reaction from something you say on Twitter these days. That you can watch Scotty Barnes play video games with his friends for 4 hours on a Friday night. That you can watch Open Gym and see the inner workings of a franchise like the Toronto Raptors and their secret to success. This is all badass and amazing. In fact, I think that more often with responsible usage of social media and also just, sorry, the baby's crying just real quick. With responsible usage of social media and by the individual that's in the NBA and the teams, that there shouldn't be any problems with what's happening. That you really need to be smart about what you're saying and doing on Twitch and Twitter, Instagram, and different media. Then you will have no problems. And the benefits of it all will outweigh that you'll have great things like open gym, bringing in more new fans. You'll have more access to being able to talk to your favorite player and really like, wow, like I just, talked to Scotty Barnes on Twitch today. Oh, that's crazy. He just said happy birthday to me and stuff like that. It makes it all the more special and connected. So I think overall it is a really good positive thing. As long as players are cognizant and aware of where they can step in shit and not do it and avoid it as much as possible. And that is, this is a Wild West thing. This is a new kind of realm having social media like this with sports. And that it's the Wild West. People don't understand exactly all the different things about it that can happen. It's like, the internet's a Wild West in certain ways. They have to figure out how to regulate it in certain ways. They have to figure out different things and stuff like that. Well, this is the same kind of thing, that we're at the beginning of an age, and down the road it may be a lot more sussed out, and there's just a protocol and a way that people handle it. But we're kind of the test guinea pigs for this kind of stuff. So some players are going to step in it, like Myers Leonard saying really awful slurs on a Twitch stream, and him not being in the NBA anymore. These are that kind of thing, that kind of stuff. So keep it positive, like Scotty's saying now, and only good things will happen, hopefully, through the social media with the players. So thanks for joining me today, guys. I'll be back. I'm not sure when I'm going to do my stream tomorrow. I think I'm going to do a Monday memory of a game from last season. I may do this at a really weird time. Like I may do it tonight at midnight, right as soon as midnight comes around, just because tomorrow I'm getting on a plane in the morning and I won't be available at 9:30. So I think I might get my Monday content out of the way late tonight, right after midnight. So look out for me possibly going live at midnight tonight. Okay, with a Monday memory, just real quick, a Monday memory from last season. Thanks for joining me this morning, guys. I appreciate everybody coming and sitting with me and talking Raptors for a bit. And also, thanks again for everybody who came to meet and greet. It was just so much fun and really was a great birthday for me. I had a fantastic birthday, and you guys really made it special by showing up. Carl, thank you. I hope I have a good flight. I don't know. I'm not flying Air Canada, so that's probably good because everybody's really down on Air Canada right now. Shane Waters saying happy Sunday. Bam, let's go Raptors. Tom Duke saying let's go. Good luck with your busy week ahead. Thank you, Tom. I will be popping in and showing. You guys might see some really cool locales, some Florida locales where I'm sitting and talking to you guys this week. And Monique saying, let's go Raptors. Let's keep it simple, keep it positive, keep it great. Be great, Raptors fans, like Scotty would like you to be. He says be great. He means it for us also. So be great in your own life and push the good, positive Raptor fan life out there. All right, guys, have a great Sunday, and I'll see you guys probably later tonight. Let's go Raptors!